Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work.
The two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
It's Kopish, stay the hottest girl, and that's your girl.
Mind me, guys, just trying to spray away some of these negative aura.
Family, yeah, they hold it down. But my bros forever, they the realest in the town. Jonas at the circus, spitting crackers on the mouth. Truthful will never do it.
Alright for you guys now.
So that was just me being a bit shameless.
No,
That's Europa League win, you man. Come on.
Sprayed away some of this negative energy. Yeah? Evening, lovely people. Welcome back to another live instant match reaction. Lask 1, Liverpool 3. First game in the Europa League this season and 3 points on the board straight away, which is a stark contrast to how we started the Champions League last season. And yes, the performance might not have been the best, but the result is a very good one. I'm not going to give any player ratings today because I've only seen one half of football, so mine would be very skewed because I'd have only seen a team that scored 3 goals. However, Monts, Rams, and Drift, they watched the whole game. So I'll start with you, Rams. How would you describe that game in one sentence?
Cal, I thought someone Cal was like, I'm around someone's behind the camera face to keep my brother.
You know what you say? I'm just trying to stay professional, yeah.
You're keeping your calm for a man who's got a gun at his head still.
Jekyll and Hyde performance, in my opinion. I mean, the first half, it was mediocre, lackluster, every word under the sun. And even though Lask really didn't create many chances or any good chances, they produced one set of world-class set-piece routine and ends up going to the back of the net. But going forward, lackluster, not making enough chances. Obviously, Darwin had that point-blank header, which was saved by by their goalkeeper. But second half, we really turned it on. We actually played some decent football, kept hold of the ball well, moved it around nicely, and made some little good interplay, and obviously got our goals for it. So, yeah, barring probably Gravenberch, who's actually had a solid 90 minutes, everyone else really did have a Jekyll and Hyde performance, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Big up to Deke, who said I need some sage and crystals. That's joking. Monts, in a sentence, how would you describe that performance?
Unsustainable.
Oh, here we go again. Oh no.
Yeah. Asked me a question and I answered it. He asked for a sentence. I gave him a word. Yeah, the word is unsustainable. Now, whatever way you want to look at it, I'm going to ask you now, can you name me 3 players from their team, Ram?
Yes.
Go on.
Florian Flecker, Mustafa. Come back to me in 5 minutes.
Right. Can you name me 3? Now that 2 answers have been given, Drift, can you name me 4 players from their team?
No, I can't, no.
Right. Cal, what league does our Lask from?
They're Austrian.
No, don't do that, Cal. You know what league.
No, I actually don't.
I asked Cal. Cal, what league are they from?
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Right. Do you even know? Do anyone know where they finished in the league?
3rd.
Last year.
3rd.
Oh, right. So here lies the problem. Is what everyone seems to think because I say it with Vim or because I'm loud about it that I have an issue with Liverpool. No, I love my club. But at the end of the day, to start the game how we started the game, in my opinion, I'm not happy with it, innit? Because not every team is going to be Lask and have 65 rated FIFA players up front playing for their team. Not every team is going to be that. Let's go start at West Ham. Start at West Ham like that. And I know we made changes. But when you look at the 11 of Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, 2 of the 3 in the front line, Gravenberch is no slouch. We saw today he was doing the jinky majinky, and everyone was falling for it. You know what I'm saying? Verge and Ibu were at the heart of our defense today. There's no excuse. There's no excuse to be.
No, but Monts, their goal was a top quality goal, bruv. It's not like they were battering us. Their goal was just a brilliant goal.
No, but Drift, they slapped it on us first 20 minutes. Like every other team has been slapping it on us first 20 minutes.
I don't know. I think we're the better team until they scored.
I think it was back and forth.
But yeah, they weren't better than us until they scored. They got goals against the run of play.
How about this?
To be devil's advocate, a team like ours shouldn't be back to forth with a team like Lask. Let's be honest.
Bro.
There was wholesale changes. There was a lot of players in our team that don't get much football. It's to be expected.
Again, glasses. If any rival team is 1-0 down against a Lask, if a top 3 team in the Premier League, because that's what we are right now. If a top 3 team in the Premier League in the league right now is going 1-0 down to Lask at half time, and fair enough, they come back to win the game. There's going to be we're going to be making comments and talking about how, your approach to the game. I understand we've made changes. I'm not ignoring the context, but regardless of the context, in my opinion, it's still not good enough. Am I happy we got the win? I'm over the moon we got the win, but it's nothing to shout about. It's Lask away from home. We should be walking the Europa League anyway. Do you know what I'm saying?
We're not shouting about it though. We're not being like, this guy is looking amazing.
You're saying I'm being unfair and I'm being called an idiot, and people are coming from my unborn children in the chat.
Phil, chill out, Phil.
That people are coming from my unborn children, hoping I get sweet chin music by my unborn kids because I have standards for my club. It's crazy.
But you got to remember, bro, standards have to be you have to be very careful between standards and then harsh criticism, because with a totally changed team, I think that first half is almost expected. But if you play well, it's like, we played well. But there's a lot of changes, a lot of players who haven't had much game time, a lot of people getting used to each other, and their goal. Don't get me wrong, we didn't play well in the first half, by the way. I'm not saying we played well, but their goal was just like a special set piece. If they were like piecing us apart and doing like madness and like not making our players and whipping and crossing, hitting crossbar and doing all, I'll be like, whoa, this, what is going on? But like, it was really just like, even that if Ram's saying it's like 50-50 game and they scored a wicked set piece. Like, I don't think the first half was like, we were just terrible. I think we just looked like an uncohesive team that didn't quite have like their, you know what I mean? The balance, right?
Again, I'm just here to ask questions. So from Monty's point of view, even though what you're saying in terms of there's 11 changes, a few of you have said there's been 11 changes. I get that. But we've seen Diaz and Nunes play together before. We've seen Konate and Virgil play together plenty of times before. We've seen Tsimikas play with those guys plenty of times before. Gravenberch was new. You could argue Endo's new, but Bashai's played with them as well. Even though there's 11 changes from the Saturday game, surely it's not like it's a brand new team. They played with each other before.
I mean, to a degree, they've played together. Like, if you think about it, like obviously, like we will see the name and then we'll think, okay, they've played together. Fair enough. But if you look at the fact that Ibu and Virgil, of course, they played together. That's our best pairing. But they've never played together, with my understanding, where their fullbacks have been Bajcetic and Tsimikas. They've never played when their DM has been Endo. That's 3 players who don't know each other well in the defensive unit. Do you get what I mean? Then you look at the midfield. Gravenberch is making his debut, so it's obviously a little bit difficult. I agree with. Do you get what I mean? So, like, I'm just saying, we weren't good in the first half. There's absolutely no way I'm going to sit and say we were good in the first half. But I think the disjointedness was, if you're taking emotion out and you're putting logic in, the disjointedness is to be expected from a team that had the majority of players who either are out of match fitness or haven't even played together. Because even Verge, I know he went on international duty, but that's now 3 games he hasn't played for Liverpool, right? If you include the Newcastle game where he got sent off so early. That's his first game for Liverpool in 3 games. Ibu just back from injury. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like one of those things where like some of the players who were playing, they're still not like Elliot comes on for 20 minutes, but he hasn't started a game. Like,
I'm not saying man are crap. I'm not being personal to any of the players. I'm being completely constructive by looking at the bigger picture of how we've consistently started games poorly, and that is what I'm referring to. When we get to the positives, we'll get to the positives. But I'm not moaning for moaning's sake. I'm just saying we can't face West Ham at Anfield like that and expect to get away with it, because at this season we've only had good starts versus Chelsea and Aston Villa, and we played 6 games.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's also you have to remember that it's also even when we had bad starts. I don't care if we have bad stuff, if we can actually weather the storm and then the rest of the game we end up dominating them. It's the fact that we do concede in those bad starts. That is my main issue, because I don't expect every single game for us to completely dominate and wipe the team in the first 20 minutes. I'm expecting us to have a couple of games where we don't dominate, and then if we can weather the storm, that's great. But the fact that we are conceding, and some of the goals that we are conceding, granted today isn't a good example, but some of them have been pretty poor defensive errors, then cool. But in just today's game and this moment, I don't think Lask had many opportunities where we got really shook. The only time they had an actual opportunity was that world-class set play. I will call it world-class because that set-piece routine, the best of the best can do that. And if it was like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, or even ourselves and Manchester City, the whole media will be loving it. They'll be talking about, look at that brilliant set-piece routine. But the fact that is because it's Lask, and because not many people know any of their players, and some of their players are Bundesliga flops, they're like, it's Lask. How can you let Lask do that to you? You know?
And I get both sides of that, Ram. That's what's funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, firstly in the comment section, guys, you can all disagree with Mons, but like, let's not do disrespect. I think we all know how this goes by now. If you start disrespecting, we're just gonna block you. So by all means, disagree with Mons if you want, but we're not gonna do the disrespect thing. We're not gonna be condescending and rude, because when we do it to you guys in the comments, you don't particularly like it. So just because you're hiding behind the keyboard, let's not start doing that first and foremost. Mons, what I will say though is, where I agree with some bits, what I will say is where I will disagree is, I don't think we can look at the Premier League games that we've played and treat it how we treat this game, simply because it's a different competition. Yes, even though some of the players have played together, as Drift pointed out, some of them haven't played together. Some of them haven't even, one hasn't even played for the club. Doak's still a very young player as well. Plus, going up against a team who, let's be honest, would never have dreamt of playing against Liverpool. Their levels are also going to up as well. So could you not say that maybe we got caught a little bit cold and we'll learn from this mistake potentially, Mons?
I mean, I hope we do. I think that there's obviously positives and negatives to take away from this game. I think if we look at the bigger picture, I'm probably going to more look at the negatives. I think I'm just glad we got the job done, because at this point it's about getting the job done. I think someone said it in the comments. It's about getting the job done and not really coming out of too many injuries. And in an ideal situation, you kind of want to win without having to play the big boys and to be able to focus on the more, the Premier League or what else we need to focus on. I just think that within the context of things, it's just, I'm not relating it directly to the Premier League, Cal. It's just that, okay, we've seen this before. Yes,
You're seeing a pattern. You're seeing a pattern.
It's a pattern that I'm seeing outside of the Premier League. So it's like, if I'm seeing it in the Premier League and I'm seeing it outside the Premier League, then it's likely we might see it for the next game. And you'll want the same thing. We want to be able to start games, because I think that our attack is so good. We can afford to start games like this against certain opponents. Again, the Wolves game, the Bournemouth game, today's game. Do you know what I'm saying? But now, what I want going forward, imagine we start games well with the attack that we have.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the difference. I was really excited to see a lot of the players like Harvey get a start. Obviously, like Gravenberch get a start today, especially Ben Doak as well. Of course, some were more underwhelming than others. You know what I'm saying? But there were big boys playing today. Do you know what I'm saying? I know we changed I know we changed certain things up. I don't know, man. That's just my kind of thought process. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm glad we got the win, and I'm happy with Diaz. I'm glad Salah came on and got his goal. Nunes for me deserved the goal for a lot of the running that he had to do. But we weren't that much better than Lask in the first half. Yeah, Lask didn't create a great goal, but what did we create in the first half? Nothing. We created nothing in the first half apart from the Diaz header, the amazing save that they created. We didn't create nothing.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, but one thing I will say though, even though I do agree we've got to stop conceding first, like we have to. Like I don't like the fact that we are coming from behind.
Sorry to cut you, Jeff. I don't necessarily think it's to conceding that anyone's upset, because as you've all said, it was a world-class goal, right? So as you've said, Drift, many times, sometimes you just got to look at the opposition and say that's a sick goal. For me, it's more the performances I'm hearing. The performance in the first half wasn't good enough. So even though it might not have been rubbish, against a team like that, it shouldn't be a 50-50 game, with all due respect to them. We should be going out, stabbing our authority from minute one and then showing why we're superior, right?
But as you said though, bruv, it's a cup final for them. I think people underestimate how much teams get up for games like this. Like for Lask, that's the biggest game they've probably played in their stadium, period. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even being disrespectful. Like Liverpool coming to Lask, kings of, you know what I mean, of this thing. Like they're like, yo, the big boys are in town today. They're gonna up their game for this. Do you know what I'm saying? Them type of things we underestimate as humans. They were motivated. I'm looking at it from the point of view of, yes, we have to stop conceding first. But one thing I will say is, what would you rather? And again, it doesn't, because I get it. The perfect scenario would be you start well and you finish well. That would be the perfect scenario. But what would you lot rather? Because we've actually had two examples of it. We started really well against Chelsea, and then we're poor in the second half. And really and truthfully, we'd have lost. We could not have moaned about it. And the end of the game arguably can be more important, right? Because obviously, like, the game's about to finish. So what happens in that moment can be more detrimental than at the beginning. Because at the beginning, you can make up for it, right? Like we've been proving. So would you want the Chelsea performance where we play well at the beginning and then we're rubbish afterwards? Or would you want what we've been doing where we're not really starting very well, but we are the better team at the end and we overpower the opposition and then we get the win?
We should really have to choose.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to choose. But good for the whole game is a perfect scenario that's quite hard to ask for.
No, not for the whole game. Not for the whole game. But again, like, no team is good for the whole game. Every opposition team is going to have spells, no matter who you play at whatever level. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to earn every win in every game, especially in the Premier League where it's so hard to get 3 points. But to keep starting games poorly, and it's not even just us as fans. Yeah, cool, we can see it. But do you not think opposition teams are going to look at us and try to press us straight from the start now, harder than what they would have done? Because of the way because of the pattern that we're painting for ourselves.
Yeah, no, they will. But as we've seen as we've seen with the Wolves game, as we've seen with the Bournemouth game, as we've seen with the Lask game, teams actually run out of steam trying to press us. So if they change up what they would usually do to try and take advantage of a weakness within our squad, which I get, they end up running out of steam because they're not used to it, and it's actually very difficult. You've got to be a monster at pressing and do it on a regular basis, the way we did, to be able to do it for 90 minutes. So we're seeing a lot of teams. Wolves were the walking wounded. I don't know if you lot remember, but by the end of that game, I think they had about 8 players, including players who've been substituted, limping, not being able to finish the game because they put so much into it. Sometimes teams are doing the most and they can't keep it up. So I get it. I do not want to keep having to like go 1-0 down, kick up the arse and all that. But we're finishing games stronger, and finishing games stronger usually leads to wins more than starting the game strong and then fading out and letting the opposition come back into the game. So I'm just saying it's not always the worst playing the way we are. But I agree, we've got to stop letting the first goal in.
Is there a mentality issue then? Because if we're not starting all these games, is there a mentality issue within the players?
It could be that. It could be that.
And how does that get addressed? Because are we going into these games being too arrogant, saying, "Bro, we're Liverpool. Look at the players we've got around us. We're going to go and deal with these."
No. I don't even think arrogant, bro. I think we're just not raising our level to the level that the opposition are. Like, we're letting the opposition be hyped. Like, right, it's Liverpool today. We got to be on it, and we're not getting that level of hype. I don't think it's arrogance. I just think we're not letting ourselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, say for example, we were playing Real Madrid today in the Champions League game rather than Lask. I think the boys would have been up for it. it's a natural motivator. Do you get what I'm saying?
But that is arrogance, then, Drift, isn't it? Because
effectively, no, arrogance is we're better than you. We don't need to try. I wouldn't call it arrogance. I would just say they've got to be better, like
complacency.
They've got to be, it's more complacency than arrogance. It's like, come on, guys, because you see Villa at home, we knew was a test, and we were up for it from the jump. Do you get what I mean? Like straight away, the boys were on it. Like Aston Villa's in town, they're a good team, and we don't play well. This team can smoke us, and we were up for it straight away. Then we go Wolves away, and it's like, and the thing with Wolves is again, you got to add the context. It was a 12 o'clock away game after international duty when a couple man hadn't even just got back 24 hours ago. Like, I think there is also like, with no disrespect to Wolves, how many of their players even went on international duty? Do you get what I mean? Whereas the majority of our squad went on international duty. So, like, you got to add the context. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to have a level-headed, adding context conversation to scenarios. 12 o'clock away game at Wolves. Enough of our men have been on international duty. Some have just got back. You know what I mean? A slow start's not exactly the worst thing in the world, is it? But
fair dude.
Can I just say it's the bridge for me? It's the bridge between us maybe coming third or fourth, or bridging the gap to City and Arsenal. That's the difference. I believe our attack is that good that we still finish third, regardless of how we start games throughout the season. But if you want to do anything significant and bridge the gap, I believe that sort of maybe that either some will call it complacency, some will call it arrogance, whatever you want to call it, changing the way we approach games from the beginning and from the off will be the difference for us going forward. And that's what I want for Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right. Let's get into player ratings, boys. So, caveat here. People in the comment section, we are going to rate players based on today's game. We're not going to speak about them how we believe they are as a player. We're just going to rate them on today's game. Now, I've got to say this because it's
it's true. It's true.
We're rating them on today's game. If someone gives a player a 3 or a 4, we're not saying that player is rubbish and needs to leave Liverpool immediately. We're saying that player didn't have a good game today, hence why they're getting that rating. No one's being personal about it. No one has an agenda and no one has a grudge against any of these players. We do not know these players personally and we all love the football club. So, with that being said...
That little disclaimer, pal.
So, I hope no one in the comment section gets... Again, I'm not rating. I can't rate because I've only watched a half of football. I'm hoping no one in the comment section gets onto Monts, gets onto Rams, or gets onto Drifty.
You can have an opinion on the 45 you saw, though. You can still have an opinion on the 45. Like,
I'll have an opinion on the 45, but I still can't give a full player rating because I didn't see anything about the first half. All right. So, that being said, let's start.
Kyle should be a politician.
I can't win, bro. No matter what I do, I can't win. Right. Goalkeeper, Kelleher. Drift, I'll go with you first. What's your rating for Kelleher?
I'll go 7. I'll go 7 for Kelleher. I think he made 1 or 2 really good saves, but he wasn't really worked enough to get. Do you get what I mean? To get a higher mark. I'll go over 7 for Kelleher. His passing was good today. No, 7.5. His passing was good today. I'll go 7.5 for Kelleher. His passing was good.
Rams, what you say for Kelleher?
I'll go 7. I mean, his passing was decent. He couldn't do anything about the goal. That save that he made, which ended up being offside in the end, was an incredible save with the one with his feet. But yeah, I think he just had a solid game. I'll give him a 7 in my opinion.
So 7 from Drift. 7 from Rams. Mons, what you say for Kelleher? So you said 7.5. Sorry, Drift.
He gets to 8 from me for his distribution alone. Sorry, give me 2.
Okay. 8. Jeez.
So I'm gonna be negative with these player ratings.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
While we're talking about goalkeepers, to just be shameless for 5 seconds. Oh nah. What's my name? What's my name? What's my? I told you, pussies, it's gonna end in tears.
It's gonna end in tears.
You don't listen to me. You don't listen to me. You thought it was all fashionable. Yeah, you know what you man tried to do? You tried to get the ripped jeans because they're in fashion, but man, them can see these big black stains on your kneecaps that you're now showing everybody. Put them knees away. Put them knees away. Stop following fashion, man. Put them knees away.
Damn, Drifty.
That's what happens when you follow fashion. You want keeper, I can do all the sweeper. You want a man who's an outfield player, but he's in goal. Save the shot first, no man.
I've been saying this.
The man's been letting in bare shots that are straight at him, you know. You know what Onana is? Onana's the youth that goes to the park and he wants to go in goal because he finds it fun, but he doesn't actually do anything when he's in goal. Yeah. We all had a bridging like that. Give him the gloves. Man thinks he's Peter Schmeichel, blood. You know them ones. Nah, man.
Look, Drift, not everyone could be like Ali, bro. You know what I mean? Here's what it is.
But he ain't even like Kelleher, blood.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not stopping.
Our second keeper's better than their first choice, and they just paid how much? I want to see Onana score penalties the way Kelleher did in a cup final about good with his feet. What is this? OnlyFans, blood. Man needs to save shots. Man needs to save shots, blood. Man's beating the ground. Man needs to be beating himself, bro.
Oh, wow.
Come on. Anyway, there's my little shade on. Man,
yeah, I'm glad you got it all off your chest, Drift.
Can I get these man? They're talking rubbish.
That's like pumped up anger from Drift.
Yeah, that's coming from a dark place.
that was dark, Drifty, bro.
That's come from a dark place, that one. All right, Bishetic.
Want to go, Drifty?
You know what? People are going to say I'm being shameless. I don't care. I'm going to go for a comfortable 7 for Bishetic today. Even though he did get a yellow card when he got beat that one time, quite easily out wide. I think it was like near the halfway line. Like the guy skipped past him and he did take him out. I think it was a soft yellow, but like he got a yellow for the guy getting past him. Other than that, for a debut at right back for Liverpool, plus how well he did in midfield, winning a lot of interceptions, got a couple of good tackles in, his passing was good. I'm gonna go 7 for Bishetic, man. I think he was good today.
I think if Stefan was so much better when he was more advanced in the midfield, when he was more in playing as more of a centre midfielder, getting the ball, link up with Elliott or Salah or Nunez or whoever, he was a lot better. Because he's a midfielder at the end of the day, man. He's not a right back. I'll give him a 7 as well. I think the first half, especially when he was forced to be playing as a right back, we did see a couple of late challenges. He was getting run past and everything like that. But the second half, when he was playing more as a midfielder, we saw the best of Bishetic, man. And I think that's where you need to play him. He's either a 6 or an 8. I don't think he's ready to be a 6 yet because he ain't got the physique to be a player as a 6. But as an 8, I'm 100% on board with it, man. So yeah,
Ram, I think he can play the 6 still. You know.
I think he needs to go gym first.
I think he's all right. You know, I think some of them interceptions and tackles he made when he was in the midfield, I think it kind of showed that he's still Stefan. Like maybe Endo is a bench player. Maybe Stefan is going to be the one. You know what I mean?
I think I'd rather saw Endo at right back than Bishetic as right back.
What are you saying, man?
FEB 6.5 from me. 6.5.
6.5. That's fair. Ibu. Once I'll start with you for Ibu.
One could get techie still.
Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, Ibu gets a 4.5 from me still.
He ain't got 4.5. Still, 4.5. Still, ain't got no 4.5s. Ain't got no 4.5s.
4 then. 4. Round it down. Didn't impress me today.
Rams?
Bruh, 4.
4 is poor in the context of our.
That's that grey area, isn't it?
Mons
I said 4.5 because it could rise to average. Like it could have been average. It's 5 average.
Cal, by the way, if you press the clear thing, it changes what the issue was you're having. If that's what the issue was.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I can see the confusion in your eyes.
Yeah. I had a madness behind the scenes.
Yeah. I was gonna message you, but I thought I might as well just tell you.
Yeah. There we go. There.
You had the confusion in your eyes that I had. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. I was sitting there going, no.
There you go.
I did not see, so I don't know. So yeah.
So what's your rating then, Rams?
Yeah, I'm not gonna allow much. That's harsh still.
That's not harsh, man. That's just throwing him into the sewers, bro.
Yeah, that's harsh, bro.
That is
if you're giving man a rating that you can't even like show with one hand.
Look, once he's there, that great area.
Cal said there's no 4.5s in it, so
that if you round up 4.5, you get a 5 in it. So
yeah, obviously 4. Yeah, but
Cal,
you can get a 5. Yeah, you can get a 5. I'll round it up to a 5.
No, if you want to give him a 4, give him a 4, bro. It's your rating.
No, give him a 5, innit? But like for me, it didn't impress me today. Out of position a lot of the time.
Monster's moving like Shania Twain, man's like that shit don't impress me.
Virgil had to sweep up a lot of Ibu's foolishness for me. Too rash for me. Did it when he didn't need to be. Not amazing on the ball. Don't think he was brilliant today. I don't know. Don't think he was brilliant today.
I'm gonna go 6 for Ibu. Yeah, there was a couple of moments that I understand what Monts means, as in like he was doing a few things a bit weird in the first half, but overall, he did all right. He did all right for me. I'll go with a 6 for him. I think he was
the same year, Rams.
Yeah, 6 or 5.5 average.
Man, I'm gonna have to shoot because I'm getting
yes,
big up, Mons. Big up,
man, yeah.
No, bless you, Mons.
Bless, people, Mons is going to be live as well, so make sure you go and show your love for Mons, man.
Love people. Take care. Big up the community.
Big up, G.
VVD Rams.
VVD was solid today. He ain't getting in 5 or 6. I think he needs to scroll up for me, Cal, just for a little bit. I want to see the higher ratings, you know. See what we're talking about here.
7.5 is good.
Yeah. I'm not gonna put him 7.5. I'm gonna put him 8. I think he was very good today. I think he did a lot of covering. I think his passing was great. I think overall covering was great, and his tackling in last ditch situations was incredible as well, in my opinion. So I give him a very good rating. I'll give him an 8.
Drift.
I agree. I thought Virgil was really
good.
Virgil was really good today. That's what I'm saying. Like, where's my brother? Is Kojo in the chat? I was really shocked that Kojo said that he's worried about Virgil. I think Virgil's proved he's getting back to his. He's never going to be the Virgil he was because age, father time, like, you know what I mean? Like that, he's never going to get back to that Virgil. But he's still showing us that he's still Virg. I think he's been good. He's been suspended for 2.5 games, but the games he's played in, I think he's been good in them. Am I alone in this? Or
wait, Cal,
I'm happy with Virgil this season.
Can I make a slight adjustment? Can you put him up to very good? Because he bullied a couple of them forwards. So I'm like, bro, you get extra ratings for me for that. If Drifty disagrees, then that's up to Drifty.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Right. Virgil was good today, man. Like, we got to remember, their goal came from a brilliant piece of play. From a set piece. Like, generally in the game, we weren't getting havoc. It wasn't like those nutmegs going on and they were done in our man and we was all over the place. Like, it was a brilliant. Have you seen the goal yet, Cal?
No, I still haven't seen it.
Basically, it was like a budget version.
No. I'm gonna watch the first half. Don't ruin it for me.
Okay,
I'm gonna watch the first half. This is this sort of dedication I have for the because I know I'm gonna be.
Because I was gonna say a name that would have let you know what it was, what type of goal it was. But yeah.
Oh no, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Who do you think you'll drift? Oh, I was gonna say the name. I'll say it later. I was wondering who is he thinking of? What type of goal, or what was it similar to?
He played. No, I'm still gonna give it.
No,
away.
tell me afterwards. Tell me afterwards. Yeah.
Simi.
I think Drifty should do this one, man. But I think people believe that I have an agenda because I think he's no longer good enough for us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of 50 Shades of Grey still. Am I being generous if I give Simi a 5? I think I am.
Don't be generous. Give him the rating that you think he deserves.
I gotta give him a 4 then.
All right, there we go.
I think some of his crossing and his set pieces were good, but like generally speaking, Simi did not have a good.
We have to get out this mindset that we can't say certain ratings for players, man. We can't.
Oh no, bro, you know I don't live in that world. I'll say what it is, but like I think I'm trying to analyze the game in my head quickly overall of like, am I being harsh because he was a lot better in the second half, or because in the first half he was really bad? He'd probably only have got like a 2 in the first half. So like I'm like, am I being a bit over the top? But yeah, I'll settle on 4 for Simi. He was bad. It was. Cool.
Rams, are you lower than a 4?
Yeah. 3.
You know what? Oh,
2.5.
Go on. Aye, we ain't got 2.5. We ain't got 2.5.
Bro, like I didn't like. There's a couple. Let me explain myself. I'll explain myself. There was a couple of times where he could have, especially in the first half, he could have helped us out offensively and just did naffle. His crosses, when it comes to set pieces, was poor. We even said it. The chance that Darwin had, where he was keeper saved it, it was a poor ball from Simi, and Verge just made the most of it. Like Verge, because he's Verge and he's so good in the air, made a chance out of it. And there's a couple of counter-attacking opportunities where he just wasn't doing anything. I was like, bro, I don't want to cuss you out, but you had given me no reason not to cuss you. You know, I don't want to, and I believe we could do better, in my opinion. And I've heard, and I've told JJ this. I told everyone this. Big up JJ. We could do better. We could get someone in that is younger and more hungrier to play for Liverpool, in my opinion. That's how I see it.
Fair dues.
And believe me, I want to see 21-22 Simi again. I really do. But there's no, in the last couple of years, or even the last 2 years, I haven't seen that. So I can't back it.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on to the next player. Endo. Drift ain't here to bail you out this one.
Him and Simi were the same, in my opinion.
Big up to Jamie Phillips in the chat. I promise you, Jay, you would not want me at left back. Trust me on that one.
Nah, you could do that.
Yeah,
Endo. We say a Maldini thing, man. Inverted, isn't it?
I couldn't.
Endo, I'm gonna be honest, 4 or 3.5.
Okay. Wait for
As
him
in,
to get back.
The guy, the game passed him by, couldn't win a header, couldn't win a tackle, couldn't do anything. And I was like, bro, I want you to do well. I want you to be a man like Endo. I want to give you that title, but your performances for Liverpool ain't doing it, man. You could do it. You could do it for Japan, but if you're not doing it for Liverpool, I do not care what you do for Japan. You got to do it for my club, and he's not doing it, man.
Fair enough. I'll stick with you until Drift gets back. Oh, sorry, Drift, Endo.
For some reason, when Ram just said you can do it for Japan, I just said, you know, Street Fighter, when you're picking your fighter and then you pick the thing and then it flies up, the airplane goes Japan. It's like you can do it for Japan. Yeah, Endo was kind of non-existent in the game, man. He was. don't get me wrong. I'm secretly worried about Endo not being able to get up to speed with the Premier League. But again, today weren't even a Premier League game. But you know what? I'm not going to give up hope on him just yet.
No, this isn't about giving up. Don't worry about that.
No, I know, because I know I know a lot of people are just saying like they don't think he's good enough. So I'm just saying I'm not going to give up on him just yet. I'm not. But in today's game, then he's definitely getting a free for me because I actually think he was worse than Tsimikas. At least Tsimikas was involved in the game. Like Endo, I don't even remember him. So I've got to give him a free. I have to.
He drops into that category with Simi as well. Then Gravenberch.
Scroll up, my brother.
Yeah, you got to scroll up. Scroll up, please.
So again, just going off the chat here, playing devil's advocate, quite a few people in the chat are saying they didn't think he was that great apart from the assist.
Who, Gravenberch?
I'm just relaying what's in the chat.
Carl, you're about to get some heat if you said
no,
that.
Bro, no one can hear. I'm repeating what other people have said.
Boy, I don't know about them people there, but me, Gravy's getting at 8.5 for a debut performance. That was a brilliant performance, and then topped off with the assist. Yeah, you know I'm always going to bump it up half a mark to a mark for an assist and a goal. So based on that premise, he would have definitely been in and around the 7 to the 8 mark for his performance. But then getting the assist as well, I'm going 8.5. Bro,
Cal,
when you watch it, Cal, you will see just how comfortable he is with the ball, bro. It's just like the turning. You know them little Coutinho shoulder drop jinx and that.
His name, bro. Can't make it through one show without mentioning my man's name, bro.
I was happy.
Yeah,
and in terms of the thing, apparently Klopp said it was just like cramp. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. But for a first game, because remember, again, I'm putting context into it. You're away from home. It's your first start for Liverpool. He only got 4 minutes against Wolves. We're not going to count that. It's his first game for Liverpool, his first start for Liverpool. It's away from home. It's around a lot of players who the cohesion isn't there anyway. It's not like 11. It was 10 players who are used to playing together, and then he's just playing. He actually played today with a lot of other people who aren't used to playing either together or even for Liverpool. Endo ain't used to playing for Liverpool. That was his midfield partner in crime today. Do you know what I mean? For what the circumstance was, Gravenberch was really good today. Really good. Every time he got the ball, it looked like something could happen. He was driving forward, his touch, he was keeping possession, he was rolling players, he was being offensive and defensive. And he's not the greatest defensive. We all know that. You ain't going to be sweeping up like flipping, Makalele, but that hopefully that will come in time. I thought he was good, man. For his first game, I thought he was really good. I'm happy with it.
Rams, do you agree?
Yeah. Drift literally took the words out of my mouth, in my opinion. I think movement, off the ball, on the ball, passing was decent. It could have been better in certain places. The only thing I really would criticize him for was that opportunity where he was driving through and he should have shot instead of trying to look for the pass. But again, I think he's more trying. I think he was, again, first game, trying to get to know the players. Obviously, he doesn't want to be greedy and all that kind of things, but still that opportunity should be shooting. But other than that, solid, very, very good game. And that's what I'm going to put him. Very good.
Very good. Oh,
I'm not doing that. It's not if I do that. I'm not doing that. I heard it once and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that again.
As someone said in the chat, he was actually silky as. Oh.
Harvey
I think
Elliott.
I've perfected that now because of you, Cal. I blame you, bro. Harvey Elliott.
Harvey, yeah.
Harvey Elliott definitely had a game of two halves. I think in the first half, he was a little bit non-existent and not really that good. But I thought when we made the substitutions in the second half and then he had a free roll, I thought he was really good. So I'm going to give him a balanced 6. because I think he was good when we made the changes. But the first half, he was like kind of non-existent. So I'm going to balance it out. Brilliant assist down the line. Obviously, the assist for Gravenberch. He started doing a lot better in that final half an hour. So yeah, I think a 6. I think a 6 is a fair score for Elliot today.
Yeah,
You saying, Rams?
I agree. I think he's, like Drifty said, at times in the second half, first half, he was actually playing some decent balls. I remember one cross to Nunes that the Nunes should have done better with. But other than that, it was very lackluster. Wasn't getting into the game that often. But the second half, given that free role, a lot more offensive responsibility, he was good. He was good. I think he was better than Konate in my opinion, though. So I'll probably give him a 6.5.
5. That's messed me up now because there's not a deciding vote.
What, we both gave him a 6, bro?
No, Rams gave him a 6.5.
Oh. I'll give him a 6.5. I'm all right with that.
All right, then. Ben Doak. Wait, actually. People in the comments, I have to do this. People in the comments, Drifty and Rams are going to score Ben Doak's performance today. We're not going to talk about whether he has a future at Liverpool because we all believe he does. We're not going to talk about whether he's good enough at this level because we all know that he will be. We are just rating him on today. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yo, Cal knows what we're gonna give him.
No, because I've been where you guys are sitting right now and giving a rating and come back to see the comments and seeing the maddest stuff. But
Cal saw the nervous smiles and be like, "Yeah, these guys are gonna give a third rating."
And again, guys, with all due respect to you both, I don't want you to do the whole thing of, oh, he's only 17. Just judge him on how he played today. Forget about age, forget about this. We're just judging him on how he played today. Drift, I'll start with you.
I'm not going to be very specific on the number because I don't want to be harsh on my little guy. So I'm just going to say,
stop.
Put him in the grey area.
I'm
just going to say, put him in the grey area, bro. He's in the grey area. Just put him in the grey area and let me get.
There's two greys, dark grey or light grey.
The dark grey.
Okay. I need a rating.
I thought that was white. Is that light?
Yeah, I thought that was white.
No,
I thought that was white.
Light grey.
Oh.
Drift. I'm gonna need a number though because of the ratings we're doing for the throughout the season. I'm gonna need a number.
You see it there?
No, I don't see the number. You haven't given me a number, bro. There's 3 numbers to pick from, dude. I said, see it there. There's 3 numbers, Drift. Which number is it? 2, 3, or 4, bro? Which one is it? I said, see it there. Oh, there's 3 numbers, bro. I can't see which one, bro.
I'm gonna 4.
Okay, thank you. Rams.
What Drifty said.
You've had a terrible.
I can't do it, bro. He's a kid. I want.
That's what I mean. That's my little guy, man. It's hard for me to be harsh.
He played the game. So
he did. It's hard for me to be harsh on my little guy, man.
It's not being, guys. We got to move away from this. It's not being harsh. If you had a bad game, you had a bad game. He's 17. He's allowed to have a bad game.
No, I know, of course.
So if he's had a bad game, let's just say it's a bad game and we move on from it. It's not being harsh. It's not being harsh at all. For me, it'd be more harsh if you boys came out and was like, oh, he's a 6 or 7 because he's 17. No, you've called it how you saw it. Here's what it is. You'll move on from it. It's calm. He's got a massive future at the club. It's calm.
Yeah. No doubt.
Darwin Nunes.
Can we score back up, please?
Yeah. We've got to scroll up. He had an unbelievably good chance saved with a brilliant save. He had a header that he should have done better with, but it was a bit behind him. But he should have done better with it. I'll be honest, he should have done better with it. But I think his link-up play today was what I was impressed with. And I think the simple fact that whenever you play against Nunes as a defender, you know you're going to get roughed up and you can't rest on your laurels. You're always going to be in a game. it's an attribute that I think that's going to get downplayed because people are going to go, oh, what you mean? He puts a lot of effort in it, and people will laugh at it. But I think it's kind of a hidden gem in a lot of players that people take for granted. You get your Tevez, you get your Sanchez, you get your Suarez, you get your players that I think people downplay the tenacity part of what they brought to the game, like the hustling and the
This feels like copium. So it's cut. This feels like copium, bro. What did he do well today? What did he do bad today?
I don't really think he necessarily did anything bad. What he did well today was some link-up play. I think he did well with his link-up play. He got an assist for Salah, and his hold-up play was a part of the second goal as well. He held the ball well and played it out wide. I'll probably go 7.5 for Nunes today. I thought he was good. He wasn't amazing or anything like that, but he was good. He was involved in the game at the important times. So I'll give him a 7.5 today. Oh shit! I forgot he scored. No, so I forgot he scored the penalty.
Like, Cal, you laugh at the same comment.
I totally forgot he scored the penalty. Oh shit! I totally forgot.
No, it's killing me. They said I'm moving like Judge Judy. You know?
We're done.
We're done.
Yeah, no, so I totally forgot he scored the penalty. I totally forgot he scored. No, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Based on that, when I'm thinking about it, that means he had a hand in every goal. 8.5. 8.5. That means he actually had a hand in every goal. He got the assist for Mo, his hold-up play for the second goal, and he scored the penalty. No, real talk, 8.5. He actually had a hand.
That's a bit too much, not gonna lie.
No, but he had a hand in all of the goals, Ram. Am I lying? He was actually personally responsible to some degree for all 3 goals.
Oh, but he weren't better than Verge or Gravenberch, though.
No, but Verge never necessarily had that much to do. Verge was really good, but he wasn't being peppered. Do you get what I mean? Like, maybe if he was being peppered, his Verge's score would have went up. But remember, it's not like Verge was constantly under any pressure to give him like a 9 or a 10.
Was he better than Gravenberch then?
Nunes, yeah, today he was involved in the game way more than Gravenberch. If you think about the fact he had a hand in all 3 goals, Ram. Like real talk, if he had a hand in all 3 goals, plus he was roughing them up, playing what? Yeah, I'm gonna go 8.5. I'm gonna go 8.5. He had a hand in all 3 goals. I'm sorry, if you have a hand in all 3 goals, then you was important today.
So you did giving it without the 2 goals. Without the 2 goal contributions, you'd have given him
without the penalty. I was going to give him a 7.5, but then remembering he scored the penalty, I'm going to give him an 8.5 because I'm not giving him a whole extra point because of the
you've
penalty.
jumped up a hole. We only usually give
because I just said I've realized. Oh shit, scoring a penalty actually means he was involved in every goal we scored today. So I'm going to give him an extra half of a mark based on the fact that he had an involvement in every goal.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? A penalty gets you half a mark, but then being involved in all 3 goals gives you an extra half a mark. So, yeah.
I would have gone very good. Oh, sorry. I would have gone good.
Cracks me up when Ram says it. He said it's so polite, and he's like, I said good. So good.
I'm just saying the way you guys do it, bro. Bit wild. Just saying.
So I've got to put Darwin as an 8 because he goes in between 7.5 and 8.5 then.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
You don't sound like it's fine, Drifty, but we'll move.
No, you know what? One thing I will say, I see a lot of people in the chat that are saying like they think being involved in the goals, it's a high rating even if he was involved in the goals. What I would say to you then is, well, as a striker, hold up playing scoring goals is going to be a lot more of the metric he's judging, right? Because if he's having brilliant games but not scoring, people might put up with that for a one-off game, but eventually they'll start being like, Nunes don't score. So I'm saying, as a forward, being involved in goals is metric for high rating to a degree, right? If it was absolutely shocking but then was involved, I get it. But he was having a decent game, and then he ended up being involved in all the goals. That means he did his job today. So I'm just saying that if he's having good games and not scoring, people won't be happy. So as long as he's scoring and getting assists, then, We'll see in it.
Luis Diaz.
Diaz is a funny one, isn't it, Ram? Because he was actually poor in the first half, but then he really came alive in the second half.
Yeah, he was very poor in the second half, first half. As in, like, he dribbling wide, couldn't do it. He tried to. Sometimes he would attract so many players unnecessarily when there was like a lot of green space in front of him. Like, but then second half, when he actually did the fundamentals, cut inside, got into the box, took on his man, it was actually very good. He was epitomized this entire Liverpool performance. I don't know about you, Drift, but for me, I would give him a 6.5.
See, 6.5 would probably be my score, balancing out both halves, but he scored, so I'm going to give him a 7.5 because he scored and he took his goal well.
So 7 for Diaz then. You guys are really making me work this evening still. So for Salah, who came off the bench.
Scroll all the way to the top, big man.
Yeah.
Okay. With 10.
Good night.
Good night, Robbie.
Mo's man of the match.
Miras. Just saying.
Mo's man of the match.
I think like he actually took the piss today. He took the piss.
he actually
He's like, this is too easy for me, man.
As far as a cameo goes, because remember, he was on the field for 20 minutes, right? So as far as a cameo goes, I don't even think Ram is far off saying Miraz. I'm not even joking, bro.
Even my missus laughed at that one, Ram, still. Oh, that one tickled me, Ram. Oh, man. That was a joke. You both say 10s then, yeah?
Yeah. He's the man of the match for me.
Fair dues.
That is what you call a cameo.
Yeah.
Gomez.
It's like candy.
I can feel it when you walk.
Mama's doing. He might as well have been doing the dance, bro. That's what you call a cameo, blood. Gomez, I'd give Gomez a 6. I think he was pretty solid for what he did when he came on.
I think Cal would disagree with you, man.
Nah, I ain't saying a word.
Cal, you actually can be involved in all substitutions because you watched the game and you saw all the substitutions. I just realized you're trying to get out of it. Substitutions you can be involved in, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
So what would you give Gomez?
No, it's Ram's turn first, still.
I love how he just switched it to me, man.
Is this even hard? Gomez was good.
Yeah.
Is this even hard? Like,
I'll give him a 7.
There you go. Cal, what are you saying?
I'm just thinking that one sentence Cal said.
I'd have gone average for Gomez.
You'd give him a 5?
I think he had an average game when he came on.
Raw 5, you know.
I think he was average when he came on.
You're too bad, man.
I thought when he came on, I thought he was average. I thought he was.
That's harsh, still.
I still think, Cal, you got that sentence that you said in your head, man. Honest to God.
He slipped, bruv. Anyone can lose their footing, bruv.
Slip. He didn't slip.
Yeah, he got pushed and then he slipped.
He got barged.
He didn't get barged. Well, then that should have been a foul, then, Cal.
No, barge isn't a foul.
A barge is a foul.
If he barged someone,
barge isn't a foul.
It is a foul.
A shoulder to shoulder is not a barge. A barge means that you was in less control of your movement and the person took advantage. That's a barge. If I'm walking down the street, someone barges into me, best believe it ain't a 50-50, blood.
That's
that
a
brother
different
needs to
situation, but
explain
that's
to
different
himself why he just
situation.
barged me, blood.
If I'm walking down the street, someone pulled my shirt drifting, I'm gonna lash out differently to how I would on a football pitch, isn't it? Like a completely different thing, bro.
But if somebody barges me walking down the street, there still needs to be an explanation as to why
I'm gonna give Joey a 6. I'll give Joey a 6.
No, bruv, give him what you want, bruv.
Ozzy's right. Ozzy's right, bro. I'm just gonna do up hosting from now on, man. It's Matip. Can we even give Matip?
What was your rating, Kyle?
And I've given him a 6.
No. Your original rating.
You know what my original rating was, but I'll give him a 6.
No. Give him what you want. Give him a 5.
The damage is done, though.
No. Give him a 5. Give him a 5. Matip weren't on long enough to be judged.
He wasn't long on.
He came on in the 88th minute, if I'm not mistaken. That's a bit harsh.
McAllister.
I'll give McAllister a 7. I think what he did when he came on was good. He shepherded the ball out a few times. I thought what he did was good. I'll give him a 7 for his cameo.
Interceptions, tackling, decent. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7.
I'd have gone 6.5 from McAllister.
You really are that guy today, still. Cal is him.
For Szoboszlai,
7. I thought he was good when he come on. He started getting involved immediately.
I would have gone.
I'd say
8 for Szoboszlai.
What? 8?
You'd have gone at 8.
Szoboszlai, I would have, yeah.
I
think when he came on, I think his ball retention. I'll explain why. I thought his ball retention was very good. I think he was opening up space. I think his passing was very good. I thought his dribbling was very good.
He did give the ball away once and started a counter attack for Lask.
I mean, if we're gonna do that, we can speak about other players still. But...
No, but I'm gonna say if you're gonna judge Joey Slip, then you have to also judge.
I wasn't just
judging
Joey Slip. That was the thing that you guys mentioned, and I just said he was barged. He didn't slip.
No, I didn't. I just mentioned it for the fact that you gave a damning sentence about it.
Yeah, you actually did.
But a sentence that no one can rebuke or refute.
No. I can't.
No, I didn't refute it, didn't I?
He wasn't quote unquote skin out. He just slipped, bro.
He was on the floor on his back and his legs were open. You know, like when Shawn Michaels used to get hit and you used to lie on the floor like that, like starfish.
But that's what happens when you get barged when you're running.
All right.
By the way,
if I'm not mistaken, against Newcastle, didn't Trent end up on his back with his legs in the air after Anthony Gordon barged him?
Yeah. No, but that was different. That was a barge in the back. This was shoulder to shoulder. They were both grappling for the ball.
It wasn't
if you barge someone, it's a foul. You can have a shoulder to shoulder, but if you're going to barge someone...
Go back and watch it, guys. Go back and watch it. So what are you guys giving Szoboszlai?
I said 7.
I thought he was good when he come on.
You both said 7. I've gone 8.
I don't rebuke that that you're saying he was good, but I think 8 might be a little bit.
I think him and McAllister were the same, in my opinion.
I'll say he was a little bit better than McAllister. I'll say he was a little bit better than McAllister.
So you both gave McAllister a 7. So
all right, well then I won't argue with 7.5 for Szoboszlai because I say he was a little bit better than McAllister. He was a little bit better than him. So I'll go 7.5 then for Sobo.
So my 8's not that crazy.
Oh, you said 8.
No one said that.
I didn't say 8.5. I said 8.
I'm sure you said 8.5. Didn't you say 8.5?
I said 8.
Raw.
Okay, fair dues.
Man, just trying to keep me down, man.
No. My bad. I thought you said 8.5.
Rating for Klopp today.
Do you know what? I'm gonna give Klopp an 8. And the reason I'm gonna give Klopp an 8 is because he saw something that we didn't. We were like, put a whole 11 of youth man out. Let's just go in this game. It's Europa League. And he said, no, guys, look, if I disrespect the competition like that, we're not going to win this game. And I think a lot of people are annoyed at that, people like VVD and Moby and on the bench and stuff. But in the end, we got the 3 points we actually needed because of his decisions. I'm not going to be harsh on him because of the goal that we conceded, because I think it was a quality goal. And he also played some players who I wanted to see get game time. Endo got game time. Besetic got game time. Doak got game time. Kelleher got game time. We won the game 3-1. He changed it up. His substitutions were on point. Every substitute made an impact. I'm gonna go 8. I think Klopp was good today.
Rams.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult.
Oh yeah, and in the first half, Chris is right. The ref was actually making it harder for us to be good. Cal, when you watched back the first half, the ref was being so biased. It was unbelievable. Like, and I'm not even just capping. Ramos, like, it was a joke. Like, they were like, there was at one point, Cal, yeah, where we did.
They were barging our players.
Like, yeah, like, what was it, Ram? Like, we must have done something really, like, it was like the most minor of minor, and he pulled up a foul. But then at the other half, the defender literally grabbed Ibu by his arm and span him, and the ref went, play on, and we're like, hold on a minute. 2 minutes ago, you gave a foul for something that wasn't even nothing, and now man's allowed to drag Ibu's shirt and like.
And then
it was like the referee
after that,
weird,
after he gave Ibu the yellow card, he was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna give everyone yellow cards now." Like,
yeah, it's true. Then he got a bit yellow card hungry for real. It's true.
Yeah, but on Klopp again, like the lineup was something that I expected. It was gonna be heavily rotated. I think the only problem I had was Bajcetic playing at right back, but then he didn't make up for it for the changes in the second half. I'll give him a 7.5. I think he was good. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, dudes. All right. So that's the first game out of the way. Let me help these supers.
What about you, Cal?
I didn't see first half.
You can still give him a rating, though.
I didn't see the first half.
What's your second half rating of Klopp?
The second half rating was very good. Like, you know, I'm still not a fan of the inverted, but
what's your second hand rating on Virgil from what you saw from in the second?
From what I saw from Virgil,
yeah,
I'd have probably got an 8.
What was your second half thing on Diaz? What would you give Diaz if you was just watching the second half?
Just the second half, probably 8.5.
Yeah. What would you give Nunes if he was just watching the second half? Just second half? Yeah.
Probably 7.5.
See,
what do you give Elliot just based on the second half?
Just based on the second half, Elliot. Oh, Elliot almost had a game of 2 halves in the second half.
Yeah, he did. Before and after the substitutions.
Yeah, I'd probably gone 6.5 for Elliot.
Fair days. Those are the players who played both halves. I just wanted to gauge what you.
How are you saying that about Verge, especially? I think we didn't put enough on his rating.
Was he better in the first half?
What did we give Verge?
He was better in the first half. He had a lot to do in the first half.
You guys gave him an 8.5 overall.
No, I think 8.5 is fair, Ram. I think that is a fair reflection.
No, but Cal's second half rating was 8, and he was a lot better in the first half. Even then, he was still great in the second half. But his standout moments was in the first half. So I think we did.
I would say an 8.5 is still like, especially on Virgil's like level. I think
but forget Virgil's level. Just judge him on today.
No, I'm saying I think 8.5 is what he should be getting based on the fact that I've seen him play a lot better than that. Even though he was good.
Okay.
That's what I mean when I say based on his level. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll say, you know, he can play much better than that. So even though he was good, I still wouldn't give him any higher.
Cool.
But yeah, Virgil, I'm enjoying watching this new version of
Star Daisy makes a point though. The Europa League, a lot of it will be experimenting and trying to see which players will fit best for upcoming games.
Well, Bajcetic playing the wing-back, the full-back, is experimental straight away. I don't think he would have done that against West Ham as an example.
I mean, we saw Joey G play inverted the other day still.
No, but that's because Joey plays right-back. We've never seen Bajcetic play right-back before.
But you'd argue Bajcetic is more suited to play inverted than Joey.
Yeah, in midfield, yeah, but not it's like they're literally the polar opposite.
Yeah,
it's better for Joey to play the position from a right back point of view, and it's better for Bajcetic to play it from an inverted point of view. So it's like they're literally
not necessarily, Carl, because the starting position is always very important, and Stefan never sees himself on the wide areas. He always sees himself in the middle, and obviously drifting out wide. This is a lot of different ways out wide, and he's drifting in. So, and sometimes. And sometimes Joey underlaps along with overlapping as well. So he's a little bit more accustomed to it. But again, not a lot. But
I'll be honest. I think as things stand right now, once Besetic is fully fit, I think he has to start as a DM. As things stand right now.
I agree with that.
Start.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Over Endo, I agree with that.
Who plays DM right now? So you would have him with McAllister?
Yeah. And I'd play McAllister left centre midfield and Szoboszlai right centre midfield.
So where does Gravenberch play?
Rotation.
Okay.
As of right now, Besetic has to be the starter.
But I don't want to play him every single game of the week, though.
No, of course. But yeah, I think he has to be. And then I think depending on how the rest of Endo's season goes, we may have to address that position again in the summer.
I'm just worried about.
We may even have to address it in January with.
I don't think he's ready for a 6. I really don't.
I don't think Andre's a DM though. That's the thing.
Well, he looks like he's got the attribute. He looks like he's got the attributes to be molded into a DM for the way we play.
I think he's more mobile. He's more of a mobile McAllister.
Who's that? Andre.
Yeah.
I think he's more mobile Thiago.
Well, Thiago's a little bit mobile though.
But I think I'd say more robust than.
Okay.
Well, you don't think that he's got more grit in his game than that? Because Thiago's not gritty. I know he can like
Thiago's
get involved,
gritty,
but...
bro.
No, but you know what I mean. Like he's like
Thiago can
dish it out. But what I mean is like overall, you wouldn't.
I tell you what Thiago is. Thiago is a fighter who looks graceful, but if it gets really like animalistic, he can still do that as well.
Basically, Muhammad Ali.
But then he'll probably hurt himself.
No, he'll still hurt the other person as well. Like Thiago's graceful, but he's very gritty as well.
Yeah, he does get fucking 100%.
What, Cal? Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah, he's Ali, bro. Yeah, Thiago Ali, bro. Like Thiago's that guy. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. Let's help these supers. Daniel says Konate by far our most overrated. We need 2 or 3 centre backs. Wow,
Daniel, I 100% disagree with that.
I disagree with the first bit and the second bit.
Ibu's not overrated at
if
all.
Matip leaves next summer, which we all think he does, then I think we will need 2 centre backs.
We will need 2 when Matip goes. Yeah,
but that we're talking about the squad right now.
Yeah, right now we still need a centre back, in my opinion. Mohammed says, "Do you guys still think Ben Doak is a Salah replacement? I know he's 17 years old, but I don't think he's that guy. Nor is Elliot. Don't get me started on Endo." This is one for you guys to answer. I think
Mohammed, I think you're being a bit harsh to judge him based off of that game of like, you don't think that he's got it. You don't think he's that guy. I think he is that guy, but today was just exactly what happens when you're young in it.
I think,
and I don't think he's a Salah replacement. He's a squad player. Like if Salah left, I would not want Ben Doak to be the guy who starts week in, week out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Drifty when we were doing the watch along, Drifty mentioned this, and he was like, maybe in the future, Ben Doak won't be seeing the right wing. He might be playing on the left because he is more right-footed, and the way we play, we want to play with our inverted wingers. He could play on the left-hand side, and again, it comes back to the old question: who's going to be playing on the right? If Ben Doak is going to be playing on the left after Diaz, then who's playing on the right? Because we still haven't got a replacement. Is what it is.
There's a player at Aston Villa who can play both sides, but no, I won't.
It's just I know.
Couple goals and assists this season so far as well. Steve G says, "Love your show, boys." Big up yourself, Steve G.
Big up, man.
Big up, Steve. Big up.
Dynamic Edition says, "Great win, boys. Little concerning, but it's a game we should be winning. Hopefully, we keep it going. Big up, Kop-Ish, love from Kingston, Jamaica. Balalala. Big up yourself.
You know what? I knew the flag, the Jamaican flag colours were in the. I knew. You know what I mean?
Display picture's sick. I can't lie.
Yeah. It is. It's cold.
Honesty says, remember, this is not the finished product. Klopp said this is Liverpool 2.0. We will have a moment like this, and remember, Besetic and Gravenberch haven't played in a long time, and they can only improve. Big up, man. Them very true.
No,
very
facts.
true.
Gravenberch didn't play much football at all at Thingy, and Bisetic has been out injured. Very true. Very true.
Ty said they pressed in the first half, ran out of their skins. We still weren't troubled. Second half of the season, we'll smash teams when they fatigue. When the fatigue sets in, like 08, 09. Ty,
I
hear
hope
what
you're
saying,
right, and I see the logic behind
but
what you're saying.
I see the logic and I hear what you're saying, but I think that's where I've got an issue with like that arrogance in sense of we're just going to roll through. Like we will also be tied in the second half of the season, having to juggle Europa, Premier League, and potentially 1 or 2 cup competitions as well. So to say that we'll just roll teams over, back in 08, 09, we only had 1 competition to focus on we had 2 up until we played Chelsea in the Champions League, but we predominantly had 1 competition to focus on. We're hoping we have at least 3 to focus on.
And to be fair, in 08, 09, we had 1 very, very, very good starting 11. The bench was a little bit.
I mean, that team, if I'm not mistaken, had Mascherano, Alonso, Gerrard, Torres, Pepe Reina at his peak. Like,
it was a good team.
We ain't got a midfield as great as that. We may never have a midfield as great as that. That's how great that midfield was.
Put performances of that level. Maybe they could hit that level, but they're at the start of their prime.
If we get a top level DM, it could be like a 2.0 version of that midfield. If you get what I mean. Thomas Like can be like Gerrard, McAllister can be like Alonso, and I don't mean like for like. I just mean if you get like a DM who's like a really good DM, you could have like a 2.0 version of it.
I fully agree with that. Will says, after seeing a UFC card, is this their best year? Yes, it is.
Strickland.
Someone please call 911.
So let me just take a drink like Sean would.
Yeah, nice. Mad still. The person that Strickland beat your boy twice. BC said BC says there are 5 teams from their country's capital to win in Europe Cup or Champions League. Can you name them? I'll send 5 if you don't get them. There are 5 teams from their country's capital.
What are we talking about? As in, like,
is it Austria we're talking about?
BC, could you explain that? Because I'm a bit confused as well.
I'm guessing this is Austria.
Yeah.
No, I think what he means is, for example, Chelsea are part of London.
Oh,
London
as in like the
country's capital. Okay.
So, like, you get what I mean?
Chelsea,
so obviously Chelsea,
Madrid,
because they won the Champions Madrid.
Munich.
It's Munich.
It's Berlin.
No, Berlin.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Hertha has never won it. Hertha or Union has never won it. Bucharest.
It's
Bucharest.
Yeah. PSG haven't won it.
No, but
Ajax.
I'm saying I'm trying to just figure out all the capitals of all of the
Ajax. Yeah.
Is that definitely
the last
capital
one
of
is Roma. Roma never won it.
Yeah, Rome is the capital.
It's Rome, isn't it?
But then again, Roma did win.
No, they've won it. They won a European Cup.
Yeah, they did win a European Cup.
No, sorry, it's the European Cup / Champions League. The name change.
Oh, I thought you just meant any form of European Cup.
Oh,
Is
Porto the capital of?
Is Zagreb? Did Dinamo Zagreb win it?
I'm not sure. So
it must be a Balkan team.
We've got Chelsea so far. We've got Madrid. We've got
Steaua
Bucharest,
Ajax,
and Ajax.
Is Porto the capital of Portugal?
Lisbon, Benfica.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hold on, no. Have Benfica won it? Yeah, they have. Sorry.
Yeah.
They haven't.
The
Europa they haven't won.
Benfica have won it twice, haven't they?
Yes, the Europa
they
haven't won. It's the Europa. 6 super chat, BC.
I don't even know if we're right.
But we'll take it.
We'll
take it. Shout out to Pops, aka Pimpin' Distress, says D9 has played 230 minutes across the Premier League and Europa League, scoring 3 goals and 2 assists, a goal involvement every 46 minutes. My striker had PS. The third kit is giving me wood.
Pause.
No pause. That.
Up there, son, that yard there. Am I gun that?
Who was it?
Am I gun that? Am I gun that?
It's the shadow that does it for me in that video. You can sense the aggression through the shadow. That's mad. Darwin's been very good this season so far. Very good. For me, Darwin's got to start against West Ham, but considering he played 90 today, I don't know if he will.
I think it's going to be Gakpo, Cal. We were talking about that in the first half. It's mad because Diaz and Nunes didn't play that much against Wolves, so that might have been behind the thinking. But playing today and then playing against West Ham is a bit of a risk. So I've got a feeling that he might actually play Gakpo up front against West Ham. I mean, how did West Ham get on today, Antonio? I'm just asking for a friend. You know them ones like.
BC says Real Madrid, Red Star, Belgrade, yes, Steaua Bucharest, Benfica, Ajax, Chelsea, 6 guys. Sorry, big up yourself.
I big up Ram for even knowing the Red Star, because I'm not gonna lie.
No, he said Steaua. He said Steaua. We didn't. None of us.
I didn't know that Belgrade was the capital, but I knew
it is. It is. I would never have got Belgrade.
I wouldn't have got Steaua or Belgrade. I wouldn't have got that.
It was the Benfica one.
All right. Well, boys, we're gonna wrap up there. Another win. Momentum train keeps going. West Ham at the weekend. Hopefully, you go and smash those boys. Pause. And then
smash
that's
your
a pause.
Yes. Pause. I realize.
Sometimes you don't have to pause a thing. You just have to smash.
No, I think
metaphorically, you know.
Yeah, I think
not
we're in
literally.
And again, people, before we sign off, the player ratings were just based on the performances of the players today, not how we feel about them as a whole, not what we think about their future as a Liverpool player, just how they played in their 90 minutes / cameo appearances from the sub bench. If you're in the comment section, please do not go over the board with the reactions and the player ratings. Hard for fans. He runs.
I long gone are them days of getting on the floor, boy. G's and P's.
No, I'm down for that still.
God damn.
Hey, look, once I'm in the zone, I'll probably, you know what I mean,
I'm cool for
on the
that
floor.
still.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, the knees ain't what they used to be.
If I got to put knee pads like Stone Cold, bro, I'll do it, bro. What you
saying? West Ham equalized just as I asked the question.
We said, Mikel said, come outside, big man.
Yeah. If Mikel scored, then fair play to him, innit?
Did he actually score? Nah, it was Kudus. Kudus.
Yeah,
another player we could have got.
H, only if you've got no socks on, bro.
Man, just on this business. Hold on. hold on.
If you got socks
James
on,
Brown.
it'll be like you're running away, bro.
I look like James Brown on that ground, boy. Hey!
I'm a sex machine.
Go. No, people.
It was an own goal. They can't gas that up then.
That was a goal. People, enough love, Rams. Much appreciated to you, bro, for filling in.
Yeah, man.
Much appreciated.
And people, make sure you go and show your love and support for Ram as well, people. Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up.
Probably be back tomorrow in it, Drift.
Yeah.
Stand previewing that.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, people, make sure you switch on the notification bell. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Smash that like button. Liverpool win. First game in the Europa League, on the charge to win the cup. We'll see how it goes. People, enough love to you all. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish. You're out, people. Take care.
Peace.